All right, here we are in the garage. Got the 68 glitter bug here on the 2-post. Can-Am's over there, the 4-seater Manx up there. This usually goes behind, but I wanted to put up in the air just to do a video tutorial of all the goodies on the car. So I have it right now about 2 feet up in the air. I'll lift it up completely here in my garage, in my home. So 68 original glitter bug, just to start, has the 4-lug wheels, all 4 corners. These are 185 65 14s, 235 75 15s in the rear, so 14s and 15s. Uses factory front end off of a 68 Volkswagen Bug. This one does have a about a 3-inch body lift right here, so uses the blocks right there, as you can see. So, and then going back over here, there's some other blocks and stuff, but I'll go over the whole car here. Everything works. It's got high beams, low beams, headlights, tail lights, parking lights. Over here, you have your horn works. Has your windshield wiper motors that work. Obviously, there's no windshield wipers on there, but I do have them if they need to be replaced. Coilover shocks, fully adjustable all the way around. Seats are on sliders. Like I said in the ad and the other videos, this will accommodate someone up to probably like 7 feet tall. No BS, like Shaquille O'Neal could fit in this car. Seats are fully adjustable from all the way to about from 5 foot to about, like I said, 7'4" probably. Full convertible, very rare. So this is what I'm talking about on a glitter bug. This is a molded into the body wing or roll bar, so to speak, but it's actually molded in. There's no way that this was added. It's all part of the body. Very rare car. It's impossible to find one like this anywhere. Toolbox is removable. You can put, extra seats back here or a bench for the kiddies. I mean, you're not going to have a whole lot of room for, full size adults. But if you want to, maybe your kids, from toddlers to probably, 8 to 10 years old, just put a bench seat back there, which would be easier. You can usually grab those out of a Jeep Wrangler or Rubicon, the scramblers. You can pick up UTV rear benches. This is a Can-Am. Bucket seats would work, if you had smaller kids. Full gauges. So we got your speedometer, fuel gauge, and your volts there. So it's electronic fuel pump. So that comes on. Horn. You got your headlights, dash lights, all your stuff here. Your windshield wipers, which will work. Turn those on. You can see the motors. They're moving. There you go. So those all work. You got your headlights, parking lights. These are the bright LED headlights and tail lights, high beams and low beams. All that stuff works. Electronic fuel pump. So parking lights, turn signals. I'll turn on the turn signals here so you can see. So we'll start with the right turn signal. Right turn signal comes on right here. There's your right turn signal right there. You got your parking lights, which are all on right there. Right turn signal in the back, as you can see on the Can-Am. It's blinking, but I'll show you. I apologize about the noise from the electronic fuel pump. Turn on the left turn signal. Same thing over there. There's a left turn signal. And then the left turn signal, which I just turned off, but it works. Your tail lights. And then, like I said, your high beams and low beams. Turn that off, your horn. Custom pedal. Like I said, very, very, very simple car to work on. Bucket seats, high back bucket seats, rear view mirror. So what we'll do now is we'll go ahead and put the car all the way in the air. That way you can see. So give me probably about 25 seconds. So we'll go ahead and do that over here. And then I just gotta do a quick little visual inspection of the back of the Can-Am here on the exhaust, just to make sure that's good. And then that's good. So I'll get that cover up there and we'll go all the way up. And then we'll keep going. So we'll go ahead and just lock this down here just for safety. So we're gonna put that down on the locks on the 2-post lift. So here are your 4 lug wheels, 235s, 75/15s, 1600cc dual port motor. It's got the good factory valve cover right here with the clips. These prevent any type of leaking. They're way better than the bolt-on empties up there. But these are the ones that you want. They don't drip, they don't leak. You put on the cork style valve cover gaskets there with a little bit of Permatex, just a little bit every time you check the valves. This one utilizes the Claude's buggies right there. Extremely rare. You'll never find another one of those. Call CB Performance. That's CB Performance, Claude's buggies. Before it came CB Performance, Weber style right there, carburetor. You got your choke back here. Your coilovers back here, fully adjustable. You have your alternator and sand seal pulley guard right here with a timing mark so you can adjust the timing. Your distributor, Bosch 009 distributor, runs absolutely perfect. No real drips or oil leaks or anything like that. Going back over here underneath the car, which I will show you here. So here is the car. Little bit of little hole right there, but nothing crazy like it's gonna do anything. Very, very clean. Short and pan, full, like I said. Body kit, 3-inch all the way around. Going back over here to the transaxle. So we'll go over here just to show you. Back underneath the car. So that way you can get a good look. I got nothing to hide, no drips, leaks, or anything. There's just a little, I guess a little wetness right there, but that's about it. All these VWs, they mark their spot. They all drip or leak a little bit every once in a while. So this is the car here. And then we're gonna go right here to the front. Your front end beam right here, 68. So here's all the front end. Custom front tubular bumper. This is a nice bumper. The only issue that you will have if you want to utilize a factory Type 1 Volkswagen tow bar is you will have to undo your U-bolts right here, because this this front bumper is secured right here by the U-bolts. So this is a standard front end. But you could utilize a standard Type 1 Volkswagen tow bar if you needed to tow this anywhere by removing these. What I would recommend if you wanted to go that route is they're gonna run you about $100 off of Craigslist. If you wanted to go to Harbor Freight during like a Black Friday, which just passed, or something after the first year, they usually have 20% off. You can buy one of their universal tow bars. 2 things, don't remove these. But you could put the bracket right here and the bracket right there, and they're gonna be the same thing horizontal. Or you could put the 2 holes right here for the bracket and the 2 holes right here and put the bracket in. Leave the bracket and then the tow bar is removable, but it's also, it flexes, so it's fully adjustable. They're about $120 from Harbor Freight. You could probably get them on sale for about 100. If you needed to use a tow bar, that's the great thing about these is you can tow these across country with a regular RV. You can tow them behind a pickup truck. You can even go as far as towing them behind a Honda Accord, a passenger car with any type of receiver hitch. The car probably weighs somewhere about 1,100 pounds, so there's no real tongue weight. But yeah, this is the overall car. Like I said, I got nothing to hide. You're more than welcome to come inspect the car. It's right here. We can put up on my lift. Newer tires all the way around. Fires right up. It's a clean, clear Arizona title. You got all your tubes and stuff right there for your wiring, your painless wiring. But like I said, it's got the 3-inch body lift, so made some modifications for the wiring. But but everything works, starts and stops. I think there's a little bit of extra weight on this wheel. I think this wheel might be a little out of round here. That's the only issue that I've noticed with that one. Car runs absolutely perfect. 1600cc. This one will do about 75, 80 miles an hour. You can remove, like I said, the toolbox, but I'm going to put it back down on the ground so that way you can kind of see here. Let me lift this back up in the air just a little bit, and I'll go over the motor features in the back of the car here. So we'll lift this up. I'm going to pull this one down, It's a light car, so it's going to take another, 25, 30 seconds, maybe 45 seconds to lower it down. So I'm going to go ahead and hold this down and bring this car all the way down and continue to talk. So 1600cc dual port motor. So on these Volkswagens, it's 4 bolts, 4 17 millimeters, super easy to pull out if you wanted to change it. Nowadays, a lot of people are going to motor swaps. If you don't like Volkswagens, if you live in higher elevation like I do, I live in 4,000 to 5,000 foot elevation. So you might have to adjust your carbs, leaning it out with higher elevation and then riching it up in lower elevation. So you can do a motor swap. You can do fuel injection. A lot of people are going to the Chevy Ecotechs. If you're not familiar with the Chevy Ecotechs, they put those in the Chevy Cobalts, the Chevy Cavaliers, the Pontiac Solstice, the Saturn Skies. They started with all 2.0s, then went to factory superchargers. There was never a factory turbo Ecotech. They make aftermarket turbos. I'm not a fan of the Ecotechs or the Ecotech superchargers. I've had them all. I am a fan if you utilize an aftermarket turbo kit. I think now they're up to 2.5 liters. They put them in the Polaris Slingshot from 2015 all the way to 2020 until Polaris went with their own motor. But the 2.0s were about 170 horsepower. Then the 2.2s and 2.4s, I think, went up to 185. And you can actually get the turbo kits, which will give them pretty close to, about 250, 260 horsepower. The superchargers were about another 100 horsepower or so. But Ecotechs are, they're readily available. All you have to get is your wiring harness, if they don't come with a wiring harness, and then your rear radiator and your transaxle adapter. So Kennedy Clutch and Kennedy Adapters makes a transaxle adapter. They run usually about $700 to $800 now for any motor. You can put in Fords, Chevys, the Ecotechs, Subarus. You can put in Nissans, Toyotas. Kennedy makes great adapters. I'm not sponsored by Kennedy, just giving them a shout out. That's who everyone uses. Even the LS1s, like in the Corvette, they make those in the sand rails with the Mendiolas, the LS2s, LS3s, etc., etc. So you can do the Ecotechs. You can also do Hondas. I'm a big fan of Hondas. I love Hondas. There's a Honda right back there. You can do the Blue Top F20Bs. Those have about 160 horsepower, but you have the VTECs, which kick in about 7,000 RPMs. You can do the black tops, the GSR motors. You can do the red tops. Some of those things, those Honda motors, you can pump out 400 horsepower with turbos. Those are readily available. Same thing, get your wiring harness, your radiator off of eBay for about $200. Your Kennedy Clutch adapter mount for the transaxle. And then you're off to the races. You have a water cooled. You don't have to deal with any type of air fuel mixture if you want to go that route. Furthermore, you can go to Subarus. Subaru 2.0s. Those are the EJ20s or the EJ25s, 2.5 liters of the WRX if you want to go with that one, or the STI, which would be a little bit more money. Those are about $1,200 on eBay. You can pick those up all day long. They do motor swaps here in Arizona, which I can recommend, from Lauren McTavich at Mac Engineering. Fred over at Don's Bus Box does the Ecotechs. They do Acras. You can do Acura 3.0s, 3.2s, 3.7s, Hondas with the Honda Pilots. Those have, forged internals, 240 horsepower. The sky's the limit on all the things like I said you can do. There is a gentleman also, he's not here in Arizona, Dan Esslinger. I apologize if I'm pronouncing it incorrectly. He is a big proponent of the 2.3 liter, I believe they are, the Ford LX turbo motors out of the Mustangs or the Ford Thunderbirds. I think those are pumping out like, you know, about 200 and some odd horsepower. The old Ford Pinto motors. He has those all tricked out, carbureted. We also have Dan here from Competition Engineering. You know, if you want to do dual carb motor over here with either Webers, which are very hard to find for the original ones, you know, the Spanish ones, then the Italian ones, then the MP knockoffs, or the Delordos. You can do 2276 stroker motors on these things, have, again, 200 horsepower, but do you need to go that fast in a car that weighs, I don't know, 1,100 pounds? Possibly. You know, you can do CB Performance fuel injection from Claude, you know, get the CB Performance. I can recommend, you know, if you want to go 2276, 2332, CB Performance heads. You know, you can do street eliminator heads. You can do a VZ 125 cam. You know, you can do a smaller, like a little 1915, like that one with the dual carbs with an angle 110 cam. I know everything about what you can do with the Volkswagens, horsepower, what's the best bang for your buck. I recommend to stay away from, you know, 1835s or anything that's going to be with the 92 millimeter piston jugs there. Those sometimes tend to get a little hot depending where you live. But again, you know, this is just a cruiser. You know, take it to car shows. It's a very unique car. If you want to teach your kid, your son, your daughter how to drive stick shift, that's how I learned. I learned on the Volkswagen platform, you know, and I still have these things today, 4-speed, very, very easy to drive. You know, you can drive this thing back and forth to the grocery store, to school. It's very, very cool. If you want to put a stereo system in there, you can put a stereo system back here with some speakers. But yeah, it's a very unique car that never goes out of style. For some reason, everyone calls these the Scooby-Doo cars. I guess I can kind of see that. You know, but all the decals will come off if you want them to come off, you know, with the bees. I got the bees right here on the seat belts, but it's all easily removable. You got your glitter bug right here out of San Fernando, California, you know, your Route 66. Got a little blemish right there, but nothing crazy. Your Super B bees right here, but it's a very, very tastefully done car. The good thing about it is the paint shows very, very well. It is not a show car by any means. I mean, this isn't a Barrett-Jackson or a Smithsonian type of car that belongs in a museum. If you wanted to paint this, you could probably get this honestly painted for anywhere from $800 to probably $3,000 if you want to go with the full-blown gel coat. If you wanted to do like a yellow metal flake and leave the interior, I kind of like it the way it is. You can take it off-road. A couple other things that you could do is there's so much wheel clearance back here. Those are 235 75 15s. I used to be a tire guy. Those are pretty close to the 3950 15s. You could possibly go all the way up to at least 33 12 50 15s. I mean, I'm sure 35 12 15s would fit. I mean, you might hit a little. I do like a test fit before, but those might clear. When you go to bigger tires, it drops down the RPM if you wanted to go. Those are a comparison right there of, those are 32s right there. 32, I believe those are 1150 15s. So those will clear on the Can-Am right there. And then what you could do is you can put those up front or put on 3950 15s up in the front and go to like 33s or 31 1050s. You just have to get a bigger wheel because those are 14s. If you wanted to make a pure street car, that's kind of where you're at limitation wise for a street tire, unless you went to something which will be like a 295 50 15 or a 295 60 15. It'll be more kind of like a Mickey Thompson, like a T-bucket or an off-road tire. I'm sorry, like a drag radial street tire. But the way the car sits right now, as you can see, don't be alarmed on how the wheels kind of bend out. That is the same thing as a swing axle. So that's what it is. It's not an IRS independent rear transaxle. Other than that, I mean, like I said, here's the car. If you have any questions, you want to put it up on the lift, I'll be more than happy to show you. Please watch the other videos of me driving. I got my other Manx up there. So This one's one that's gonna go. Depending where you live, I might be able to help you out with delivery because I got the trailer. If you have any questions, please feel free to email me. Thank you and good luck.